Hey everyone, Toshi here. I kind of just wanted to give my thoughts leading into the release of Honkai Star Rail. As you all know, we do have less than 10 days at time recording this before the game comes out, but I kind of want to give you all an update on the content we'll be making on this channel going forward into the future of the game and on release, right? I have stopped making guides on this channel for now. Of course, the game hasn't released yet, so it's per the reason why. But also another thing to note is that I just haven't been making them in general. I could have been making guides even though the game hasn't even came out yet. Guides are something a lot of you seem to enjoy for the most part. But I don't want to be known as that guy that makes guides. I just don't. So I do apologize if you came to this channel in the beginning because we made a lot of guides in the beginning, and that's something that you kind of want to see going forward in terms of content for the future, because I've been failing to deliver that. Instead, I want to make videos that are very entertaining, have a rewatchability factor for you all. I also want to make content that I know that I would enjoy going forward into the future. I tend to burn out more easily than others, tend to try to push myself harder doing stuff I don't enjoy doing. I mean, I think that's everyone in general that does burn out. I don't like making guide videos, and I'm sorry to say that, I just don't. I like to help people, but I just don't like making guide videos. I find them to be boring to make. I find them to be kind of irritating to make. I also find them to be very frustrating sometimes whenever you make a guide video and you put a lot of effort into it just to have people tell you, to be naysayers and know-it-alls. And it kind of makes you feel like, wow, I wasted my time making this guide when people told me that I was wrong in the way I was making the guide. For any content creator, I think making guides on a exclusive game for your channel is probably the best way to approach a new channel, because as you all know, guides are always something people will constantly be searching for on YouTube. And I think it is a very nice safety net for a lot of creators because it's very risk-free, right? Making guides are very risk-free because they're always something that people will constantly be searching for. However, Mr. Toshi is moving on to entertaining content. I want to have content, as I said before, that is replayable, something for you all to watch and get something out of. I want to create a story in every video I make, and it's kind of hard to do that with guides. I just can't do those videos anymore. But with the type of videos we'll have going forward, we will have much better content. Let me just say that. The videos we have now are kind of stale, and I do apologize about that. The reason why they're kind of stale as well because the game hasn't came out yet. As you can see, the way the channel is now, I've been trying to shift it into a different direction anyways. If it hasn't been already apparent, I've been kind of moving away from, our old clickbaity style and the thumbnails and then the titles, and more so into a kind of, I want to say, just this is Toshi approach, right? Like, I want you to look at the channel and be like, this is Toshi. Like, I don't want you to look at the channel and be like, oh, this is the guy that makes guides for Honkai Star Rail characters. I don't want to be known as that person. No offense to anyone that does like making guides, I just don't want to make content on that for my channel. Also, I will say another thing too. I am working on a channel for Wuthering Waves in anticipation for the beta and of course the release into the future of whenever that game comes out. I have a channel for that. It is my old channel where I used to make Genshin videos. So if you're interested in that, I'll probably have it in a link or something. But yeah, I make Wuthering Waves videos on that channel because of how YouTube works, of course, right? But I wouldn't want to make Wuthering Waves videos on this channel anyways, because I want this to just be Honkai Star Rail content. Or honestly, any Honkai content going forward, because I do believe Honkai is the IP that Hoyo will probably push into the future, even after, let's say, Honkai Star Rail dies, right? 5 years, 10 years into the future, right? Maybe it never dies, right? But there will be another Honkai game of some sort in the future, and we'll definitely cover that going forward. I also want to explore the story sides of the game. I think the story aspect to Honkai Star Rail has a lot of room to grow. The way it stands right now, as for me, the story, of course, there is very minimal world building, right? Because the story just started. There really isn't any foundation yet. One thing I really wish that Hoyo kind of did more often for the games is make more cutscenes. I think the cutscenes are really, really, really good in this game. Like, really good. I think they're also really good in Genshin Impact. But we never have enough cutscenes. Now, I understand cutscenes, right? making those 3D animations, those animations are really expensive, right? They're pretty expensive. I imagine they also take a lot of time. As someone who is kind of getting into 3D animation for the first time, I understand how hard it can be because I don't know what I'm doing, right? So I can only imagine how hard or how tedious it is for people that know what they're doing. Okay, let me just say my favorite anime. My favorite anime is Steins Gates. I love Steins Gates. I love stories like Steins Gates, right? That is my ideal version of a good story. Honkai Star Rail story is not even close to anywhere like that, right? I won't spoil anything, right? But this game is looking to be a very... It is definitely is darker than Genshin, but how much darker is it than Genshin is what I'm trying to say. And it's not going to be some emotional tear jerk fest, right? Where you're crying later on into the story. Maybe you do cry, maybe you don't. I don't know. Has anyone cried for a Genshin Impact story? I'm really curious, but there isn't that going on right now, at least currently as it stands, right? You don't have that Honkai Impact, third tier jerk fest, right? With the, Himiko and what happened to her, that tragedy, as it stands currently, right? So the stakes aren't too high right now, which is understandable for the most part, because I understand, that kind of eliminates the purpose of selling characters, right? Anyways, I've been rambling for long enough. What I'm trying to say here is, hopefully the story, right, gets better going forward, and I want to see more moments, like I said before, with a wow factor behind it. And we'll definitely make videos. We'll probably make videos going forward on the story, going over most of the story, and just having commentary behind it, as I did with the poll, and you all, pretty much were in favor of it. So we'll probably do that. I want to talk about how I approach this game. So as I said before, I don't want to make many guide videos going forward. If we do make guide videos, they'll probably be like very silly, goofy guide videos. Nothing really to turn you from nothing to triple your damage in game, right? That's not gonna be my goal. Nothing to really get you to turn into a meta gamer or anything, right? I don't really want to force meta on this channel. I don't really want to tell you what's good and what's bad anymore, because I find that to be very hurtful to mentality of, how you see this game going forward to the future, because there is no PvP, right? There's no PvP in this game. So I think having that mentality where you're going to be meta this, meta that is probably going to hurt your mental long term, because you won't have anything. You'll reach a point where the challenge factor will be we'll all hit the end game at some point, right? But the people that hit the end game the quickest will be the ones that chase the meta, right? Instead of the ones that have the meta in their afterthought. And that's kind of where I'm at. I want the meta to be an afterthought for me. However, there is a lot of characters that I do find to be enjoyable, right? Ting Yun is broken, right? 4-star Fox waifu character. She's broken. But I don't find that character to be a character I like aesthetically. How she is in the story, I don't like that either. Not my cup of tea. I can understand that she is a waifu for a lot of you, right? That are into Fox, girls and all that jazz, Jaimiko, right? Characters like that. But that's just not my cup of tea. I do like Asta. I like Asta so freaking much. That character is so great. Also like how good she is in team compositions. Now I am turning into, I could sound kind of meta, gamer-ish, but I'm trying to kind of shift the way I see, if that makes sense. I don't know if that probably makes zero sense. But my ideal type of composition is to have like a team of Asta, Seal, Bronya, and then some other character, right, that I choose to put in that team. Maybe like a defense breaker like Pela. It's a very standard turn-based game team, right? But I really do want to play around with characters that are weak. I want to play around with characters that are strong. I just want to make teams that are wacky, teams that are fun. I just want to have fun, right? That's my end goal with how I want to pursue this game, because turn-based games can go really stale, right? As someone that's played Epic 7 for about 2 years now, I've also played, Summoner's War back in the day. That was my first ever gacha game. I played that game not even knowing it was a gacha, as most people probably did, right? A lot of you, your first gacha game was Genshin Impact, right? That was like 2020, right? 2020, 2021. My first game was Summoner's War, and that was like 2013, baby. Like back in the day. Oh man, 2013, like 2015-ish was when I joined, right? You thought Genshin was that game was something else, man. But yeah, I just don't find it to be very helpful to have that mentality of chasing meta, at least in my opinion, right? Especially knowing this game doesn't have PvP. And let's be honest, right? No copium, there will be no PvP, which is a-okay, right? That's fine. I'm okay with that. And that's pretty much going to be how I change, or kind of how I have my mentality anyways going forward. It's just to play the game to have fun, right? I'm going to spend most of my time making videos anyways, so I don't even know how I'm going to have time to make 2 accounts, to play 2 accounts. I'll have to find time. Also have to stream, man. I don't know if I want to stream this game. I mean, I think I do want to stream, but I don't know. See, the problem is with me streaming, I have pretty bad anxiety when it comes to streaming. Like, I get really anxious. I didn't used to be like this, but before I even think about streaming, I'm like, do I really want to stream? Like, I always have those second thoughts about it. But whenever I do stream, it's usually wholesome, right? The people that show up, my mods in the stream are great. Wonderful people. The 2 mods I have, they're great. I have skill issue. I also have anger issues. If I play this game and I go to simulate universe and I get to like the last 4 and I lose and I have to start from the beginning, I get so freaking mad. And I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to play this anymore, and I just log off. That's kind of what happened to me in the beta. I would go to like the last stage of simulate universe and then I would die at the end, and I would get so freaking mad because it takes like an hour to get to that point, right? And you can't like restart at the same like part of the floor, so you get so freaking mad. It's so freaking annoying. I get so upset, and I just like, you know what? I'm gonna do this again tomorrow, and I just quit for the day. That's probably why I think I will enjoy having Bailu on my team, because anytime one of my characters die, well, Bailu can just revive the character, or if I'm low HP, well then Bailu can just heal my team to full, and I don't have to worry about, you know, ever dying or sucking at the game, because Bailu will help me not suck at the game, right? Or she'll at least mask the sucking aspect to me. The sucking aspect to me. The aspect of me being bad at the game. You guys will never know I'm bad at the game because I'm using Bailu. Well, now you know I'm bad at the game because I just said that, but imagine I didn't say that. You wouldn't have known that I was bad at the game because I'm using Bailu, right? But anyways, that's gonna be the video here. I don't know what this turned into. I just want to give, I guess, a long update, not a quick update, on my plans going forward to the future for the game. Lastly, I will say, on the release of the game, as you all know, I'm still going to be re-rolling, right? Because there is 2 characters I want to have on my account, and that is Bronya and Seal, first and foremost, right? So I still will be re-rolling. So do not expect to see, I would say if I do post any videos, it'll probably be about the story. But do not expect to see any like canon videos for the channel. That's like, I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Don't expect to see any okay, I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you all for watching and have a nice rest of your day. Peace.